registered in South East.
Races at Ipswich and Gatton, Beaudesert and Esk as well. And called a lot of the greyhound races up there as well. So I got a lot of opportunities there before moving down here, which I think looking back on it's been will be a plus for me, and Alan Thomas has been more help to me than anyone else as far as the race caller is concerned. So I can basically thank him for the caller I am today.
Where you live is a place called, or lived, Bar Calden, which is 12 hours drive from Brisbane. Boy, you're a long way from home these days.
Yeah. It's a little town of about 15 or 1600, so I hope everyone's well in Barking, back in a winter or two down here today. But yeah, I lived out there from when I was about 10 or 11. And finished school out there and then moved back to Brisbane. But I called racing out there from when I was 14. I just turned 14, called my first meeting in Longreach. Lucky enough to call the Birdsville races for the last 5 years, something I intended to keep going in the future. And also another picnic meeting out there, Batuta. There's great people out there. Hope they're all handling the weather conditions out there pretty well. They've gone through a pretty bad patch of weather-wise. So hope they're all going well out there, and yeah, I can thank a lot of people out there for where I am today.
Yeah. Well, good luck this afternoon calling your first race in New South Wales, Josh. Look forward to hearing you in action.
Yep, thank you, Joe.
Okay. That's young Josh Fleming, the boy from Bar Calden, now in Sydney, pursuing a race calling career.
And someone who'll be paying particular attention to to Josh's call of the next at Gosford is Alan Thomas. Here he is as they get set at Ipswich.
Yeah, it's a big day for him, Matt. You know, he's only been in Sydney a short time, and he's only been with Sky Channel. Speaking about young Josh, he's only been with us a couple of weeks, and called his first race in Sydney today. He'll be a little bit nervous for sure, but he's got a lot of confidence, and he's under a great man in Ian Craig. And I'm sure he'll acquit himself well today and for many, many years to come. Got young Matthew Hill on our pub service this afternoon, who came through the John Tapp scholarship, and Matt's probably an old stager at the age of about 23 or whatever he is now, and Josh is a few years behind him. But as the years roll on, we can't stay in jobs forever, and we have to create space and time and jobs for young men to take race calling into the years ahead. And with Matthew Hill and Josh Fleming, I think Sky Channel is very, very well equipped for the years that will follow. All right, we're all set. Race number 4. All set, stand by for a start. I better call this all right, otherwise.
They're set. Line is good. Now, Glenn Boss is just out of the saddle on the favourite entrant, drawn gate number 1, just up in the uprights of the stalls. Not sure what the problem is, but Glenn out of the saddle on entrant. Standing up in the uprights of the barrier stalls. Now he gets back into the saddle. So we're just about set. Should catch them this time. Ready. Racing. Entrant appeared to jib slightly at the start gate. One's back second last, and Cashante behind it in the early part. Always Winners, the first one to begin, goes out to the early lead. Quoted and Remedale second and third as they settle down. Joe's Horse out wide. Then Pimpala Lake, Rustic Bub. Entrant improves to midfield. Northwoods out wide. Then Cashante followed by Loopy Lady, and towards the tail is Lujan. They've gone through the first 400 metres of the race, and Remedale's in front by just over a length, and Always Winners. Pimpala Lake third. Entrant fourth the inside. 3 wide Quoted. A length away then to Joe's Horse, followed by Lujan, then Rustic Bub. Cashante next on the inside. Loopy Lady second last, and last of all is Northwood as they come down the side, and Remedale was able to boot through and retain the lead. Led the way a half length. Always Winners. Entrant improves to third, followed by Quoted, then Pimpala Lake. Lujan next on the inside, and they were followed by Rustic Bub and Joe's Horse around the bend. Always Winners has gone to the lead again. Entrant got the inside runner, has gone through to join Always Winners. Lujan's up to third, and then Quoted, followed by Rustic Bub. Entrant the inside, and Always Winners. Lujan's making ground, and Rustic Bub on the outside. Always Winners in front. Lujan and Rustic Bub coming from Entrant. Always Winners in front. Lujan is lifting. Always Winners clinging on, and Always Winners. Always Winners won it from Lujan. Third, Rustic Bub. Entrant fourth. Then Northwood, followed then by Quoted. Behind those, Pimpala Lake, Remedale. Then came Loopy Lady, Joe's Horse, and last of all, Cashante. Number 5 will be the winner, Always Winners, ridden by Bobby Alyssa. Had the form line through Magic Quest, ran into Magic Quest in a maiden its last start at Hawkesbury. Magic Quest won at Randwick yesterday, and Always Winners has confirmed the form and has taken it out. Number 1, Second Lugian, 10, Third Rustic Bub, 8 has run fourth Entrant. Those numbers are official: 5, 1, 10 and 8. They've run 113.31, 113.31, 37.78 for the 600, 37.78. The margins are coming up. A long neck is the winning margin, a half length between second and third. A long neck by a half length, 113.31, 37.78, and the tote divvies are up. Number 5, Always Winners, Bobby Alyssa, 390 and 140. 1, Lugian, Lenny Beasley, 350. 10, Rustic Bub, J Ford, 1270. Quinella, 3370. Exacta, 4630. Trifecta, 5110, $1,143 even. Standing by for the first 4. The numbers across the line: 5, 1, 10 and 8 after Gosford race 4.
Well done, mate. Excellent work. I think Sky Racing's made a pretty good investment in signing up this boy, Josh Fleming. Still a teenager, and he's called that race at Gosford brilliantly. He's got a very, very bright future. Terrific call. Right, that's race 4. We'll stand by.
Supreme Riff links in, and all is in readiness for a start. Red lights flash away. Starter on the stand. Wardsky is the inside runner. Marrakesh Express Towie. They're off this time. Marrakesh Express jumped swiftly. So too did Best Northern, who lead Marrakesh Express. Supreme Riff's not far away. Lord Kefalonia, Cyanban and Wardsky improving. Now Marrakesh Express can't go the early speed. It's back to last and Switched On Time is second last to the 700. And Best Northern just in front of the grey Wardsky, a length and a half. Cyanban, Lord Kefalonia wide. Switched On Time going up on the inside, followed by Supreme Riffs at a length and 3/4 to Marrakesh Express. In the Crackerjack, they're going to the side, and Wardsky leads now about a neck or so on Best Northern. Wider Supreme Riffs, Lord Kefalonia the middle, and over on the inside, held up for a run, Switched On Time, and Marrakesh Express is going to the extreme outside as they sweep into the straight now, and Wardsky shows out a length on Best Northern. Switched On Time, there's a run for him, and here's Marrakesh Express sailing down the outskirts of the track and quickly swept to the front, and away goes Marrakesh Express from Switched On Time, and Marrakesh Express easily from Switched On Time. Wardsky third, Best Northern fourth, then Cyanban. Supreme Riff second last, and last was Lord Kefalonia. Number 2 is Swamp Them, perfectly written by Ronnie Stewart. Continues a great run being enjoyed by Tim Martin. And number 2, Marrakesh Express, first up since June the 21st. Rather than work him on Tuesday morning and get him ready for a city race, Tim thought that, well, this might be a nice race for him, and first up from a spell. And in doing so, has picked up for Mrs. S.M. Keating, the owner, $9,750. Better than a track gallop, isn't it? Number 2, the winner, 1, Switched On Time. Second by Switch In Time, trained by Bob Milligan at Taree, ridden by Luke Price. And number 7 ran third, Wardsky, a gelding by Carry the Crown, trained here by Gordon York, ridden by Nobataka Sakine. Fourth went to number 3, and that was Best Northern. 3 lengths by 3/4 margins. 59.09 was the time, and that has bettered the class record of Cape Howes of 59.62. So 59.09 on this upgraded good track. So stewards again right on the knocker. They thought it was good. Mid stages after the program got underway, and their judgment proven 100% correct. 35.09 sectionally. The totes and the winner, number 2, $3.50 and $2. Number 1, $2.20, no third. Quinella $6.40. Exacta $14.30. Trifecta $79.30. The first 4 to follow, and the special div is not needed. And in the next, Sea Brown on 7, Miss Nichols, and the starting time of the Rhino Handicap Eastern is 4:25.
Thanks, Ian. And of course, the main race there today, the Belle of the Turf, is the 7th.
1, 2 and 6 paid $831.20. $831.20. Righto. 2 minutes to the Moe Cup. We'll be joining Greg Miles right after this break.
Devon getting very agitated, and Touch of the Blarney's also upset, but he's down on all fours. But Devon did thrash about, and Danny Nikolic scrambled away for safety. And it looks like he just may have hurt himself a little bit too. Just bracing a leg as the horse played up badly in the gates. They've backed him out of line now. Danny just flexing his left leg. Shades almost of Cranbourne, but not quite as bad. Vet running the rule over Devon, who is one of the favoured runners in the race. Now the others await in the line. This horse being trotted around now behind the gates. Let's hope that he'll be all right to run. He is one of the more favoured runners in the race. Trotting back up towards the gates now. In fact, he holds Tate favouritism at 5.20. I reckon he's okay. He's coming back up to the line. Nikolic to get back on. 2,050 metres, the Carlton Draft Moe Cup. Take two. Dan Nikolic settling in the saddle. The line looks ready this time round. They're set. Racing, and Devon began a little slowly. China Syndrome very slow to move out. Jangling Jack away fast. Also showing pace, Karaka Angus. Chiming Door went back from his outside alley. Skinjatay drives on. Devon prominent, but it's Skinjatay and Karaka Angus settling the 2 leaders. Devon right behind them on the inside. A good pace early. Jangling Jack and the Gold Cutters is running 4th out of the straight. Monda Special is around him as they head to the 1600. Next touch of the Blarney. Self-interest. Trail further back, Gentle Genius can't get in. He's slotted out 3 wide, a bit better than midfield. McHale is on his back. Classic Benbar is wide. Then China Syndrome, Chattanooga well off the pace, followed by Chiming Door and Prince Benbar is last. Karaka Angus takes the lead out to the 1200 metres in the Moe Cup. He's out by 2. Gentle Genius doing some work but gets up into second placing. Monda Special holds 3rd. Skinjatay now back 4th, and Classic Benbar is running 5th on the outside. 2 lengths to Jangling Jack being trailed by Devon on the fence, and then Chiming Door who's out 3 wide around Self-Interest and Touch of the Blarney. Going forward is McHale who's pulling in the middle stages, followed by Chattanooga, China Syndrome, and 3 lengths to Prince Benbara. They haven't taken their foot off the pedal at the 800. A new leader, and it's Classic Benbara now taking over the running from Karaka Angus. Gentle Genius 3rd, then Monda Special. On the inside is Skinjatay about 2.5 to Jangling Jack. Back behind those, Chiming Door at the 600. Ridden along but making ground. Devon hard ridden, going nowhere on the fence. McHale pulls out around Self-Interest. Chattanooga's trying to make some ground from the rear. Up to the turn, past the 400. Classic Benbara leads by about 3 lengths now. Here's McHale around the outside of Monda Special. Then came Gentle Genius who's under the whip. Chattanooga's running on down the outside, but past the 200 metres, and Classic Benbara for Luke Curry by 3. Chattanooga's the big danger, and Prince Benbara is also joining in, but Chattanooga raced to the lead in the Moe Cup, and it's Chattanooga for Bryce Dickman winning it. Chattanooga first, second placing to Classic Benbara just in front of Prince Benbara. Next in McHale, and they were followed by Devon, and then Jangling Jack, Touch of the Blarney, Chiming Door, Self-Interest, Monda Special, China Syndrome, and then came Karaka Angus, Gentle Genius, and Skinjatay is last in. Chattanooga, Bryce Dickman and Mick Price win the Carlton Draft Moe Cup. He's come from a long way off the leaders in a very, very fast run race to charge into the lead in the last 150, and the apprentice rider Bryce Dickman, the former Queenslander, takes out the big Moe Cup today. 680 and 270. The stablemates run the Quinella 8 second, Classic Benbara 570, 6 third Prince Benbara 320, 1 8 and 6. They're confirmed in the Carlton Draft Moe Cup. Chattanooga at 7 years of age gives Mick Price 3 for the day, and for that effort the club is sending him on an overseas trip to Las Vegas. It was a prize offered to the leading trainer who could win 3 including the Cup. So a big day for Caulfield trainer Mick Price. Chattanooga winning his 11th race from 48 starts. He'd been running on from the back of the field in recent starts in town. He's always been a prolific wet tracker and dropping in grade, and with the advantage of the apprentice's claim, which has only just recently come into being in these bigger races. It was once that they couldn't claim at all, but that's been a big help, there's no doubt about that.
Yes, we've got Mick Price down here. Congratulations. We're off to Las Vegas, mate.
No, not me and you.
Just you and I.
No, me and Caroline. Yeah, fantastic. Look, I've got a really soft spot for the horse. Moody wants to come, but he's a bad kisser, so he's barred.
He's worse than me.
Yeah.
Well, what a thrill. Bar winning the trip to Las Vegas, a promotion by the Moe Racing Club, but winning the Cup with a horse that has been so great for you.
He has been a fantastic horse, and as everyone knows, he had a really bad bleed about 3 years ago, and we've resisted the temptation with him to go to 2,000 metres to just nurse the sprinter miler out of him, but he got to the stage as a 7-year-old where he sort of had no option. He was just getting too far back in mile races, and it was too hard for him, so it was a really sort of $100,000 race to try and first start over 2,000 metres, and it worked really well. Very happy.
Hasn't been a bad day for Mick Price and Calais. You've walked away with trips and things and winners and caps, and this has got to be one of those good days, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. Koala put me out of the quaddie, though.
It was the one that let you down. Well, we got one in the last, or Calais, we've got to rely on him.
I'm done.
You're done, but I reckon you're going to enjoy it. Well done on winning the trip with those 2 wins in particular, Lewinsky and the Cup.
Thanks, Andrew.
Righto, mate.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Mate. Mick Price joining us, the trainer of Chattanooga, and he's won a trip to Las Vegas.
Yeah, good on him too. Hope he wasn't intending to see Siegfried and Roy, but well done there to Mick Price. Lewinsky and Chattanooga, his 2 winners today at Moe. Righto, Gosford race 7. They are moving up here for the feature race, and Gold Lottie is the first one to move up in the line. She'll go from the coveted rails draw with Glenn Boss in the saddle at $4 now. Native Jester into $4.30, Imperatrix at $4.70, and I'm in Heaven $9.60 for Mrs. Tendulkar. Righto, let's go to Gosford and join Ian for the feature race today.
So they're moving in for the main race, the Pine Solutions Australia Belle of the Turf, a listed race, $100,000. Court Grinning goes up. Native Jester, who won last Saturday, is still away. And now Native Jester goes in. So 4 to load. So just repeating as our radio audience links in, number 1 Gold Lottie's been very heavily tried here and has tumbled into 360 and 170 in New South Wales. Previous event of the day went to number 7 Miss Nichols. Now Reeva's right, up to line goes Go Ziggy. And we've got My Chick Chick to come up and complete the line for the big one of the day. My Chick Chick, Lacey Morrison in the saddle, walks in. Gates snap closed behind My Chick Chick, and they're ready now. Gold Lottie, the inside runner. Set. Gold Lottie fidgety on the inside. Boss not happy at the moment. Racing this time, and Gold Lottie jumped away reasonably only from the inside. Court Grinning out well with Native Jester. Reeve hopped into stride nicely and up looking for the lead Princess Dragon, and wider out is Corporate Queen from My Chick Chick as they swing round the first corner, and Jim Cassidy goes to a clear-cut lead on Native Jester. Second posse is Court Grinning, a length away. Third Corporate Queen, followed by Imperatrix and Reeve. The lead has gone further in front, a length to Princess Dragon on the outside of Gold Lottie. And then Lariata, I'm in Heaven, My Chick Chick, Gahila Babies a mile back with Mrs. Tendulkar, and Go Ziggy's Absolute. Native Jester down the back has cleared away. Must lead about 9 lengths on Court Grinning, and then Corporate Queen, Imperatrix 2.5 to Reeve. A length further back, Gold Lottie, followed by Princess Dragon around Lariata. 2.5 to I'm in Heaven, My Chick Chick, Gahila Baby, Mrs. Tendulkar, and Go Ziggy is Absolute to the 600 and the Belle of the Turf. And it's Native Jester leading by 10. Court Grinning second, third on the outside, Corporate Queen, and then Imperatrix, followed by Reeve and Gold Lottie. 2.5 to Lariata, Princess Dragon, I'm in Heaven, My Check, Mrs. Tendulka, Gahila Baby, and last of all is Go Ziggy. Well, Native Jester comes to the home corner, and they're starting to peg her back here. Cassidy getting a little desperate on Native Jester. Corporate Queen's picking her up very quickly. Native Jester can hardly pick its feet up, and here's Imperatrix called upon. Native Jester threw in the towel, and Corporate Queen hits the front. Imperatrix and Mrs. Tendulka with Gold Lottie. The leader, Corporate Queen. Imperatrix grabbed it, and Imperatrix wins the Belle of the Turf. Gold Lottie has got second. Third is tight. Mrs. Tendulka wide out. Corporate Queen the end. And then came Lariata, followed by Go Ziggy Reeve. And then I'm in Heaven, My Check, followed by Gahila Baby. Native Jester stopped that badly. It's beaten 2 in Princess Dragon and Court Grinning. Number 4 wins the Belle of the Turf after a perfect ride. Number 4, Imperatrix, ridden by Corey Brown. Number 1 is second. That is Gold Lottie, ridden by Glenn Boss. Number 5 is third, and that is Mrs. Tendulka, ridden by Hugh Bowman. With number 3, Corporate Queen, the official fourth, Len Beasley. 4, 1, 5 and 3. Imperatrix by Strategic from Curator, trained by John Hawkes, and has had the 2 runs back from a spill for a 100% record. Raced by Mr. I. McRobert, Mrs. P.R. Powells, Mr. T and Mrs. F.M. Lobb, and that would be Trevor, I'm sure, from Woodlands, of course, the Bloodstock General Manager for the Inghams. And Imperatrix looked a treat going onto the track, and in a great finish to the Belle of the Turf, is scored by a head from Gold Lottie, a mare by Encosta de Lago, trained by John O'Shea Glen Boss, and a head further back third was number 5, Mrs. Tendulka, by Luskin Star, Guy Walter, Hugh Bowman, and only inches away fourth.